It's time to get casually uncomfortable. News Edition with your host, Chuck Jerome. Viewer discretion is advised. What is up? What is up? Welcome to the News Edition. It's Wednesday. The week is almost over, so you can breathe that sigh of relief when you're relaxing this weekend. So enjoy yourself. But for now, let's get into these articles. I found some good ones. This one is the name of the episode, Military Age, because what they have done is raised the maximum age for enlistment to 42. And look, this is right now specifically for the Army. The Air Force allows recruits over 40, while the Marines still cap at 28, but allow for hopefuls who are 29. Okay, so I think it was like 35. Now it's 40, and they just want that experience, that life experience. They're saying, look, by 42, you should have seen some shit, and you might want to take that angle. So maybe what I should be doing is, after I get done with this, get my ass straight to work. Get that money. Get them dollar bills so I can put gas in my wheels, so I can O-G-O and go, yeah. Hey, Chuck gets in a singing mood. This is it. It's not, it's not going to be a whole singing episode, but Chuck's in the zone, and he's sitting at home, but he's broke, and it ain't no joke. It ain't no joke, 'cause I'm sitting at home, all alone, woo, all alone. All right, let's get... And this is the randomness that Chuck talks about every time he talks about the podcast. Rants, randomness, relatable topics. Because that gas is fucking with everybody. That's the relatable topic right there. At least one of them, you know what I'm saying? And look, this is right now specifically for the Army. The Air Force allows recruits over 40, while the Marines still cap at 28, but allow for hopefuls who are 29. Okay, so I think it was like 35. Now it's 40, and they just want that experience, that life experience. They're saying, look, by 42, you should have seen some shit, and you might want to take that anger out in another country. Hey, do you want to go somewhere and choke a motherfucker out? They're like, come on out. Join the Army, and your dreams can come true. What's really happening is they're probably running out of motherfuckers, and they just want to get whoever the fuck they can get at this point, which is wild and sad to say and hear. And then if you're like, oh, I've gotten, busted for the marijuanas, and then I also had some of that paraphernalia, I had a bowl or a bong with me, guess what? It don't matter anymore. The Army will take you. They say, come on down and get your shooting on, because we need you. Like I said, the other branches, the Air Force and the Navy and the Marine Corps, at least not the Marine Corps, but the Air Force and the Navy, if you're over 40, hey, they'll allow it, but it doesn't mean that you have a chance. But in the Army, they said, get your ass out here. Get ready, motherfucker. So yeah, that's where we're at. They're recruiting older people now. They want you to take your anger out in another country. Don't be doing that wild shit here. We'll give you all the weapons you need, the grenades, the fucking rocket launchers, and you just go have a field day. That's where we're at, folks. Fucking crazy. So I was on Instagram the other day and I kept seeing Tina Knowles Gumbo. Tina Knowles Gumbo. I'm like, who the fuck is Tina Knowles? Well, that's Beyonce's mom. And first of all, I'm pissed off at Beyonce for letting her mother go out here and just fuck around, because now she has found out. She had a little pop-up gumbo at this fucking Houston rodeo, and people were complaining about getting sick. And then they look into it, and there were concerns about the seafood, how it was being thawed, how it was being stored, and how there were no temperature records. You got to keep that shit on the up and up. Motherfucking seafood will kill a motherfucker. People were talking about getting chills, nausea, fever. Some people were talking about how they were vomiting blood from a fucking gumbo place. And I'm going to read this part. According to records obtained, inspectors began reviewing how the food was being prepared and stored. They found that the gumbo had been made off-site, cooled, and placed into non-food grade orange buckets before being transported to a freezer at an unlicensed location. And then from there, it was moved to a refrigerated trailer at the rodeo, where it was allowed to thaw before being served. Listen, being such a big shot in the world, everybody knows Beyonce, I would have double checked with my mother as not to fucking tarnish my name. Now, nobody is like, I don't know, man. This is crazy. I can't even talk. That's how crazy it is. It's so crazy. It's crazy. I can't even say crazy because it's just mind-boggling. And a person that has come from food service, seafood will have you shitting like a goose if it's not proper. Like I said before, during the inspection, there were no temperature logs documenting how the food had been cooled or stored. Also observed frozen seafood labeled "Keep Frozen," including shrimp and crabs, raising more concern. And then based on the findings, there were multiple violations, including non-food grade containers. They're just picking shit up from fucking Home Depot. Storage in unapproved or unpermitted facilities, missing documentations for food temperatures and cooling times, lack of dates for food prepared more than 24 hours in advance. So you don't even know when that fucking food was actually prepared. It could have been a week before. Then she just, let's just freeze it, thaw it out when we get there. Dude. Because one week I saw a video of this gumbo place with lines, just fucking massive lines. And then the next week I see the same place, nobody there. So now I'm like, I got to check this shit out. Yeah, people fucking shitting themselves, throwing up on themselves, spitting up blood. Like, you cannot come back from this. All right, let's keep things moving. This article's called The Punch. Everybody knows who Alan Richardson is. He plays Reacher. I need to watch that show. That's on my list because he's a good actor. He's a really good actor, and I need to watch some of his shit, or he might whoop my ass. But he was riding his bike, his motorcycle, in his neighborhood, and he was out with his sons, and his neighbor jumps out in front of him. He falls off his bike. His neighbor starts being a fucking dick and gets his ass beat. Right? You jump out in front of someone riding a motorcycle. Now you're endangering their life. You fall off, you fucking break your arm, you break your leg, something like that. And the neighbor is just screaming about, endangering children in the neighborhood because you're riding your motorcycle. Look, some people don't like motorcycles. I get that. But what you can't do is just jump out in front of someone. This ain't fucking Looney Tunes. So the neighbor got his ass beat. It's on video. And he's like, dude, you could have fucking hurt somebody by jumping out in front of my bike. I got my kids with me. They're like, what the fuck is your problem? And the neighbor is, just being belligerent, being, one of those neighbors. And then he gets a fucking 3-piece and a biscuit. And now the video shows him laying on the ground. Alan Richardson is a big fucking dude. He's like already like 6'5", fucking 2-something. The upper 2s. Like, you're going to get your ass handed to you. And he did. And now the guy's crying about it and all this shit on different news outlets. And Alan Richardson's not getting charged, as he shouldn't, because he was minding his business. Someone jumped out in his way and then started acting like it was his fault. And guess what? You got your ass beat. That's why you don't mess with people. You leave them alone. You got a problem with them, you go up to them calmly, respectfully. You don't dive in front of them in the street. And watch the video. You got to check it out. It's fucking ridiculous. And the dude that jumped in front of Alan Richardson's car was trying to sue him and this and that and the other. The case is closed. Nothing's coming from it. But what has come of it is people are threatening this neighbor's life, telling him to fucking die. And people are like, if that was me, you would have been fucking run over immediately. They're just threatening his life and this, that, and that. Like, dude, this is why you leave people alone. Or you just, and if you can't, you do whatever you need to do in a respectful way. If he'd have gone up to him after they had gotten off the bike, hey, Alan, do you mind, not driving like a complete piece of shit all the time? And then even if you talked like an asshole, but you were calm and respectful about it, like, hey, can you not, do this, that, but once you start yelling and then jump in the fucking road, all bets are off. And there's pictures of this dude. He's got a nice fucking shiner, as they say, on his face. That's why you just go about it in a positive way. I saw this, maybe a month ago, a few weeks ago. There was a comedian that was on some show, and he said, talking about the Zulu people, and they got into the conversation of the Lion King, and he's like, oh, yeah, I can translate it. And he's like, oh, it translates to, look, there's a lion. Oh, my God. And, and it's talking about the beginning of the Lion King. I'm not going to do the fucking beginning of the Lion King. But the beginning of the Lion King sounds like the song. And this comedian, he was just being funny. But what the real beginning and what it says is, all hail the king. We all bow in the presence of the king. And now that comedian is getting sued by the composer of the chant because he believes the video has damaged his reputation and is disrespecting his work. And the composer is suing the comedian for $27 million. for the circle of life joke. Wow. The composer said the comedian has ruined his life's work. And when I saw the video of the comedian who's African and was going around telling people that he could translate it, and then, I didn't know the guy was a comedian. I thought it was just some African dude who was actually able to translate the fucking beginning of Circle of Life. And yeah, so, in my head, I'm like, oh, that's what it means. And so many other people believed the same thing, that now the composer's like, dude, you just ruined it. But now I want to see how this plays out because, freedom of speech, how does that work? They're taking everything away from us anyway. So I'm gonna keep up on this article because I want to see how this plays out. But yeah, and for future reference, don't misinterpret a song or you will get fucking sued. Now, this article is called Ice Truckers, and it's not the ice truckers you're talking about. ICE is cracking down on things as far as truckers, and as of March 2026, the federal crackdown on commercial driver's licenses, there's been a federal crackdown on commercial driver's license compliance. Specifically, talking about English proficiency. 17,000 drivers have been taken off the road because they are not up to standards for this English proficiency standard. So if you're a truck driver, there's going to be a lot of jobs opening up that you can jump into. And if you're just starting to be a truck driver, there's going to be a lot of jobs for you, so there ain't going to be a shortage. If you want to travel, then baby, you can travel. And I've seen videos where they have pulled over truck drivers and they're showing them signs of the road. And one of the signs was stop. And some of the drivers didn't know what stop meant. Or they pulled them over and then showed them the other sign I remember was school zone sign. And they're like, people walking? They're like, haha, that's a girl. And the officer's like, yeah, what does this sign mean? That's a girl, that's a kid, and they're walking. And the officer's like, oh, fuck. And you're on the road? So, it's crazy. It's fucking nuts. This is wild, okay? But hey, if you don't know what's going on the road, you got to get off of it because you're driving a murder mobile. The last video I remember was of that Indian driver who made that U-turn on the fucking highway and killed all those people because they fucking drove under his truck that was perpendicular on the highway. I remember seeing that video. And I was like, holy shit. This is what's going on out there. So yeah, now California is cracking down on it. And it's only going to be time before that bleeds into other states and shit gets really real. And speaking of really real, did you see about the $100 bills that are going to be printed in June? They're going to have Trump's signature on said bills, marking the 250th anniversary of the United States. This is going to be a change to delete the U.S. Treasurer's signature for the first time since 1861. So now Trump is going to have his signature on all kinds of shit. Buildings. His name is going to be a part of different programs that are going to be happening. Ships. And now money. This shit is crazy. This is just wild. And then it says, as you read in the article, an effort for a circulating $1 Trump coin was set back by laws prohibiting the depiction of living individuals on a U.S. coin. I don't remember this. I don't remember articles about this where he was trying to have a $1 coin with his face on it. But they're like, hey, you got to be dead for that, bucko. But you want to put your name, you want to take the treasurer's name off of the $100 bill and put yours on it? Cool, go ahead. And this is all going to start in June. So get ready. So, this motherfucker is doing way too much. That's all I can say. That's all I'm going to say. He's doing way too much. Let's keep moving on. And here's some more crazy stuff. I love hearing Jesse Ventura talk. He used to be a wrestler. He was the governor of Minnesota. And this article is talking about how Jesse Ventura suggests President Trump's assassination attempt was fake. And what he's saying is he's calling it a blade job. And if you don't know what that is, and you read the article, a blade job is used in wrestling, and I've heard of this, where the wrestler will intentionally cut themselves to draw blood for dramatic effect. In the late 90s, early 2000s, that was the attitude era of wrestling, and blood was very prevalent whenever there was a chair shot. And a chair shot is when the wrestler hits someone in the head with the chair. Normally the head, sometimes the leg, the back. But if you hit someone in the head with the chair, they would fall to the ground. They would have a blade in their boot, in their wrist wrap. They would fall, writhe around in pain, and cut themselves, and there would be blood just gushing out of their head. And the announcers would be like, oh shit, he hit him with a mighty chair shot. We haven't seen anything like this. And you can see his brains. What the hell? Good old JR would be losing his mind. Jerry Lawler would be going crazy. And this is what they would do in wrestling. And I kind of believe it. Because look, I've seen videos. We've seen videos of this motherfucker's ear afterward. There's not a chunk missing. There ain't nothing missing. It's still there. Someone shoots at your ear. Oh, I can't even talk. Your ear. Someone shoots at your ear, and that bitch is still there. Nothing's missing. It's just a little scrape, a little graze. I don't believe it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it either. And neither is Jesse the Body Ventura. And then, if you remember when that happened, the Secret Service is all around Trump, and then he raises his hand like he's some fucking hero. Dude, they're not going to allow the president to still be in that same active situation. That motherfucker is going to be out of there. You're not going to have time to raise your hand in defiance. Never again. No, someone just quote unquote shot at you. No, the fucking Secret Service isn't going to keep you there. They're going to get you out of there quick as shit. I was going to say slick as shit, quick as cat shit. Some I was going to say. I don't know what I was going to say, but he still wouldn't have been there in that active zone. That's all I'm saying. Not enough time to throw your fist up in defiance. You can't kill me. No, that's not going to happen. All for show. That's what this whole fucking second term has been. For fucking show. And guess who gets to pay for it? Us. We're getting fucked around. So, thank you for your vote. And this last article is called Chicken Protection. And it's this woman who is fed up and asking for advice after neighbors refuse to stop their dogs from killing her chickens. And the woman understands, hey, if the chickens are out and about all over the place on their property and the dogs kill them, hey, she completely understands that, yeah, the dogs are going to fucking kill the chickens. But the chickens aren't on the neighbor's property. The dogs are going onto her property, getting into her fences and killing the fucking chickens. She's got videos of the dead chickens, the dogs chasing the chickens, and she's just trying to figure out what to do. She's asking the internet for help. She's confronted her neighbors. The neighbors are like, look, their dogs will be dogs. But guess what? If that was me, not on my fucking property. You need to control your fucking animals, or those fucking things are going to come up missing. Or they won't be missing, and I'll fucking drop those dead dogs off on your porch. But you need to control your animals and keep them off of my fucking property. See, I'm glad I wish I had a house right now, but I'm glad I don't, because you don't know the neighbors you're going to have. And I guarantee you, for one, I am not going to be about bullshit from my neighbors. Keep your fucking animals on your property. Keep them off of mine. Don't be walking past. I'm walking Fluffy for the day. That motherfucker's not going to be pissing in my yard. I don't give a fuck. Okay? We're not playing that game. And look, don't look at me as some kind of fucking animal or a monster, but you have a right to defend what is yours, especially if these animals are in a fenced off area that is, an open fenced off area. So the chickens aren't just cooped up in fucking 2x2 space. They can roam free in this confined area. It's like I saw the videos. There's enough fucking space for these chickens. But if the dogs are getting in and killing your shit, you have a right to protect your shit. That's it. That's all. I don't give a fuck how you feel about what I'm saying. I would do the same thing. I'm protecting my shit at the end of the day. So go ahead and back the fuck up. But I hope something gets squared away with this. They need to call Alan Richardson over. Have him punch that motherfucker in the face a couple times. They need to get a hold of him, go on a bike ride, have that neighbor or the dogs run out in front of him, and then he just beats the ever-loving shit out of all of them. But I don't understand why neighbors can't be neighborly. Neighbors are supposed to fucking be your friend. They're supposed to help you in times of need with some fucking pepper or some sugar, or just to watch your house while you're out on vacation, not fucking allow their dogs to just kill your fucking animals. Like, come on, man. That's what I'm saying. Remember what I said Monday? You can't have food out for the masses and expect the masses not to be considerate, because they're not. Some people are going to take more than they fucking need. And it's a fucking sad shame. But that's what we're living in. So I hope this woman gets this resolved. And hey, if harm has to come to someone, harm has to come to someone. That's it. That's all. All right, I'm getting out of here. I got to go do some more studying, get some more shit done, get ready for work, this, that, and the other. Shit don't stop just because. You know what I'm saying? All right, don't forget Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Casually Uncomfortable, Twitter, and Casually Unchuck. Please let your friends know. All right, have a wonderful weekend. Be safe. Have a happy Easter. Don't eat too much candy, because you don't hear about Easter food as much, but the Easter candy, people get wild. I will be getting some of those Easter eggs with the hard candy shell. Oh, those are fucking amazing. All right, I'm out of here. I'll see you later. Be safe. Don't be a piece of shit. Thank you.